Hey everybody, welcome to Hockey Skate Down. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. So I want to do a video on this whole Jonathan Toews thing we've been hearing a lot about. I say for the past 2 weeks now, we've been hearing about Jonathan Toews wanting to express his interest of possibly returning back to the NHL. He took a 5-week, he did an article where in GQ that he talked about this 5-week journey that he took to India to help him with a specific detox, and he feels great. He feels like the best he's felt in a while. Had to exit the game because he was battling some illnesses with his body, and now he feels better, where he's been skating for a while, and Frank Saravelli's done some really good reporting on this, saying that this may happen this year, or it could possibly happen next year. So I wish nothing for the best for Jonathan Toews. I really like stories like this when a player has to leave the game that he loves for, because he's battling through injuries and ailments, but he's able to make a return. He talked in the article about reaching out to other players who, aren't playing anymore. And, the desire is always there for these players to get back in and just give it one more shot, especially as they get to an older age to play. So let's talk about this all in this video and the teams that are interested in Jonathan Toews, so please stay with me throughout. So Frank Saravelli reported that Jonathan Toews has resumed skating, is feeling the best that he has in years, and he is also back down to his playing weight. He said that he went on a 5-week healing journey in India to do a specific detox. He was battling some ailments that forced him to step away from the game. And now you're seeing that he's received interest from teams, especially the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Colorado Avalanche. So I'm sure this list will grow, because whenever a team sees a player of his pedigree and everything that he's accomplished, especially those 3 Stanley Cups and everything he's done for the Chicago Blackhawks, they're going to look to add him. It's not going to cost a lot. I know you're going to have some concerns with his age and his health, but if he can give you a smidgen of what he did in the past, he's going to help any team battle and compete. So, he has received interest from the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Colorado Avalanche, but it also remains uncertain if he will play this season or the next. The interview that he did, he talked about, he said that he's going to give it his best shot. There's a part of me that really doesn't feel like my career is over yet. Like I said earlier, he talked to a lot of guys that are done with the game, and they said the desire to be on the ice, competing, and to be in the locker room with guys never goes away. Toews said, I'm going to enjoy every step of the way of trying to do this journey of getting back to the NHL. I'm thankful for it all when he looks in the past and looks at everything he's accomplished, but we'll see what happens next. Looking at the Toronto Maple Leafs, Frank Saravelli said that the Leafs have made a pitch to Jonathan Toews' agent, Pat Brasalier, I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, about expressing interest should he return to playing this season. Uncertain if he is to compete this season or next, until training camps start next year. So that's where it is. He might start this year, or he might wait until training camps open for teams next year to see if it's either this year or next year. But he is able to sign anytime this year if he wants to be on a team's reserve, but he has to be on a team's reserve roster by the March 7th trade deadline. Tree Living has been in the market for a third-line center for some time now. You saw that he's willing to give up some trade assets, but if he's looking to get Jonathan Toews on this, it's just a contract he'll have to sign. Possibly it'll be a PTO, or I'm assuming a league minimum deal. I don't think it's going to cost too much to get him, but, this is the thing. With Jonathan Toews, you're bringing in someone who has the experience, who's won games, who's scored key goals, who's went through everything possible, whether it's the regular season or the playoffs, to help a team win. And, man, can you imagine the depth down the middle of that team if they have Matthews, if they have Tavares, and Toews is your third-line center? That could be something that could really be interesting for the Toronto Maple Leafs, as they need these certain players to get to the playoffs and just bring that winning pedigree and help players get over that edge that they need to, win some playoff series. So this could be an interesting situation. If Tree Living wants to just sign him instead of trade assets away to get him, this could be an interesting thing for the Leafs as they approach the trade deadline. Other teams, look at the Colorado Avalanche. If they're Gabriel Landeskog has been skating, so we'll see what happens if they can add him and then add Toews too. Wow, this could be a very deep team as well. And Winnipeg Jets, Toews is a Winnipeg native, so to see him battling for those bottom line minutes with that club adding more depth to that team because they've been a remarkable team all year long. These are 3 teams that are really going to push hard to get him, and it'd be interesting. He'd be interesting addition to each one of these 3 teams. So looking at Jonathan Toews, the only knock that you have to worry about is that he's 36 years old. He does have the age against him. You know, you always got to be worried about his health with the stuff that he was going through when he had to leave the game. If that triggers back up, that may be an issue. But, you know, what else is he going to bring? He's going to bring a highly motivated player to play again. He wants to get back in the game. He wants to give it his all. He wants to just love it and go through just another. He feels like he's not done, so he wants to give it his all for the rest of his career. So when you have that motivation in you, that can only help you get to where you want to go. He's a winner that wants to win again. He won't play top-line minutes, so that'll help him ease back into the game. You know, and what are you getting for face-off wins? You know, he's good in the face-off dot. He's a great two-way player. He can score. You know, there's just so much positives to bring with him, especially all that experience that he brings on the ice, in key situations, in the locker room. He can help ease young players into just taking steps of where to be, what to do in given situations. He can help any of these teams win, and I'm sure the list of teams will grow in the NHL looking to acquire Jonathan Toews. So this is going to be a very interesting situation. I thought this was just a social media thing, but, you know, watching the Rangers and the Capitals game today, they were talking about it in between periods. So this is something that is gaining interest around the league, and I'm curious to see what happens with Jonathan Toews in the situation. I loved watching him play with the Chicago Blackhawks. I still feel like there's something left in him. I think he's going to give it his ultimate shot to try to make it back in the NHL and possibly help a team win a Stanley Cup. So comment below. What do you think about this? If you're one of those 3 teams I mentioned, how eager are you want to add him? Or if you're another NHL team, comment below if you want to add Jonathan Toews as you're approaching the playoffs. So comment below. Let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe to the Hockey Skate Down. It's free. And join our hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the night. Have a great day tomorrow. Take it easy. Stay safe.